Jaguars. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And some room to work. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. And they'll go on the ground. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
Leopard!
Now this may be a free play here for Rosen. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
All right, now look at 56.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Dancing to his left. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They go again with Cannon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Trent Murphy in there to get him for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They go play action. It's Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. 3rd and long here for Rosen. Now he steps away. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He left side and he's got a man. It's Cannon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Shakes off the sack. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
On play action, Rosen. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Rosen off the play action. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out come the Bills. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Allen now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On play action, Allen. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dewan Smoot in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
That one goes for 24 yards. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Leopard!
On second down, here's Rosen. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Detroit! Leopard!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Over the middle, caught by the tight end play. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 29 yards that time.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky 56.
On first down, Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Detroit!
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Over the middle, he gets it to Barrios. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Leopard! Watch you now, Barney!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. A final shot before half for Allen. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills are in for 6. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done.
And he coughed it up, and the Jags grab it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather, of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bills getting set to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And here's Allen throwing on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. 3-19. Gone. On now, Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field Don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bills are in for 6. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Being chased out left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run with Cannon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here we go now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. A nice little jump. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Throw left side complete. It's Lee. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd down, Rosen. up to Lee. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Credit the tackle to Isaac Yiadom.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Fighting to stay upright. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Back now in Buffalo. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Allen will try again on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
To throw on 3rd down. Allen. It's caught. Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Gun! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Tight end's right. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Bills' passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
Double tight. Hey, boys, we got four down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with third and just a couple. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know what the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down. Now Allen escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Gun!
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Steps away to his left. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here we go. It's Rosen on fourth down, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll run with Ivory, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Leopard!
On first down, this is Ivory. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bills, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.